The Galactic Council chambers fell silent as High Commander Vrexhall slammed his four-fingered appendage onto the crystalline podium. Holograms flickered around the amphitheater, showing footage of the small blue planet the locals called Earth. For millennia, we've watched primitive species develop. Vrexhall's voice reverberated through the chamber. But never have we encountered such a dangerous anomaly. Delegates from 27 spacefaring civilizations shifted uncomfortably in their environmental suits. The Loxarians' bioluminescent skin pulsed with anxiety. The Zetulians' eye stalks swiveled nervously. Humans, Vrexhall continued, the word itself causing murmurs to ripple through the assembly. We're supposed to be centuries from achieving interstellar travel. Our intelligence was wrong. The hologram zoomed in on a spacecraft that shouldn't exist, the ESV Prometheus, Earth's first faster-than-light vessel, approaching the outer reaches of their solar system. Ambassador Nixia, of the Phaedron Collective, rose, her translucent wings catching the light. I fail to see the danger. Their technology is rudimentary at best. Is it? Vrexhall tapped the console and new images appeared. Quantum communications arrays, advanced propulsion systems, weapons platforms that shouldn't be possible given Earth's technological timeline. They've made more progress in 50 years than the Galaxians made in 5 centuries. Science Director Krelvox adjusted his breathing apparatus. Perhaps they received assistance? The Allurians have been known to... We've investigated that possibility, interrupted Vrexhall. There's no evidence of interference. They've done this alone and in silence. The implications hung in the air. Every species present had followed predictable development curves, centuries of gradual technological advancement, philosophy and ethics evolving alongside scientific capability. But humans had exploded from radio waves to quantum entanglement in an evolutionary blink. What's most concerning, Vrexhall continued, is that they've concealed their capabilities. Our observers on Earth report they're publicly at least a century behind what we're seeing here. Intelligence Officer Malar stepped forward, her exoskeleton clicking softly. Our analysts have determined that humans possess a unique cognitive architecture. They combine intuitive leaps with methodological persistence. They're unpredictable and dangerous, added Vrexhall. Look at their history. No other spacefaring species has spent so much of its development at war with itself. The room erupted in debate. The Ashtari representatives argued for immediate contact. The Volcrans insisted on quarantine. The Aurelians suggested study from a distance. Amid the chaos, Fleet Admiral Zovak of the Terractian Empire rose. The chamber quieted. The Terractians rarely spoke at council. Consider this. Zovak's deep voice resonated. In their brief history, humans have survived multiple extinction-level events. Their adaptability is unparalleled. Now imagine them spreading throughout the galaxy, encountering challenges, overcoming them at impossible speeds. Vrexhall nodded grimly. Precisely my concern. A species that developed nuclear weapons before mastering commercial air travel cannot be trusted with the power they're about to unleash. Ambassador Nixia's earlier confidence had faded. What do you propose? We have 2 options, Vrexhall replied. Containment or elimination. In the back of the chamber, diplomatic envoy Lirathi felt a chill. She had spent 3 Earth years in deep cover among humans. She'd watched their entertainment, studied their literature, witnessed their unmatched capacity for both compassion and cruelty. We're missing something, she whispered to herself as the council began voting on humanity's fate, unaware that aboard the Prometheus, Captain Alara Voss was about to make a discovery that would change everything. Captain Alara Voss stood on the observation deck of the ESV Prometheus, watching the swirling gases of Neptune grow smaller in the view screen. Humanity's first interstellar vessel had officially left their solar system, though the public back on Earth believed they were merely testing a new propulsion system in the asteroid belt. Captain, we've detected something. Lieutenant Commander Rigel Orion's voice interrupted her thoughts. Energy signature unlike anything we've cataloged. Ilara turned from the viewport. Natural phenomenon? Negative. The pattern suggests artificial origin, and it's coming from just beyond Pluto's orbit. Show me. The main display shifted to show a distortion in space, almost invisible, but the Prometheus's quantum sensors displayed it as a shimmering ripple. Is that? Alara paused. A cloaking field? Appears so, said Rigel, his hands moving across the interface. And it's massive, approximately 30 kilometers in diameter. Chief Science Officer Dr. Mira Corvin joined them, her expression grave. This confirms Hypothesis Sentinel. We're being watched. For decades, Earth's top scientists had theorized that advanced civilizations might be monitoring humanity's progress. Project Prometheus was created not just to reach the stars, but to uncover the truth. Initiate Protocol Umbra, Alara ordered. The ship's quantum processors began analyzing the energy signature, constructing a countermeasure. Minutes later, the Prometheus fired a precision-calibrated pulse that temporarily disrupted the cloaking field. For 3 seconds, they saw it. An enormous station, its architecture utterly alien, bristling with observation equipment all pointed toward Earth. Full scan, Alara commanded. We won't get another chance. The Prometheus's sensors captured terabytes of data before the alien structure disappeared again. Multiple life signs, reported Tactical Officer Kenzo Varda. At least 7 distinct biological signatures that don't match any Earth species. Alara's mind raced. How long has it been there? Based on the cosmic radiation absorption patterns, Mira replied, at least 200 years. They've been watching us since the Industrial Revolution, Rigel whispered. Alara's communication panel chimed. Captain, encrypted transmission from Earth Command, Admiral Frost, Priority Alpha. On the secure channel, Admiral Ivana Frost's expression was steel. Captain Voss, satellite networks detected your energy pulse. Was that authorized? We've confirmed Hypothesis Sentinel, Admiral. There's an alien observation post beyond Pluto. They've been monitoring us for centuries. A moment of stunned silence. Send your data immediately. Encrypt with Omega protocols. There's more, Alara continued. We detected a transmission from the station the moment our pulse hit. They know we've seen them. Admiral Frost's face hardened. This changes everything. Captain Voss, you are now operating under directive revelation. The Prometheus is to proceed with first contact objectives. Alara felt the weight of history pressing down on her shoulders. Admiral, with respect, we're not ready. The ship was designed for exploration, not diplomacy. None of us are ready, Captain. But intelligence suggests this may be our only chance. If they've been hiding this long, they have their reasons. And now they know we know. After the transmission ended, Alara gathered her senior staff in the secure briefing room. The mission has changed, she announced. We're making official first contact with an alien civilization, and based on their behavior, they may not welcome us with open arms. Navigator Lyra Starling spoke up. Captain, I've analyzed the station's position. It's not random. It's at the precise coordinates where our theoretical FTL jump would exit normal space. A checkpoint, Kenzo realized. They're making sure we don't leave our solar system without them knowing. Or without their permission, Alara added grimly. The question is, what happens now that we've caught them in the act? In the Galactic. Council's emergency session, panic had replaced decorum. The humans had detected the Sentinel station, an impossibility according to their development models. They shouldn't have quantum detection technology for at least another century. Science Director Krell Vox's voice had risen to an uncomfortable pitch. Our models have never been this wrong. High Commander Rex Hall displayed the human vessel's schematics. The Prometheus contains technology we didn't anticipate. Their quantum sensors rival our own, and most concerning, they've developed a rudimentary version of our phase shift technology. How? Demanded Ambassador Nixia. We've monitored their communications, their research facilities. There's no record of such developments. Diplomatic Envoy Lirathi stepped forward. Because they've been keeping secrets just as we have. Think about it. Would you announce your most advanced technologies to the cosmos before you were ready? The revelation sent ripples through the assembly. They must have detected our observers, Fleet Admiral Zovak concluded. They built the Prometheus specifically to confirm their suspicions. Vrexhall nodded. And now they're heading directly for the Sentinel station. We must evacuate immediately, Krelvox insisted. Too late, Vrexhall replied. They'll intercept before our personnel can withdraw. We must engage protocol disclosure. The chamber erupted in objections. We cannot reveal ourselves to a species this volatile. Their psychological profiles indicate they'll react with fear and aggression. Lirathi raised her voice over the chaos. I've lived among them. Humans respond to transparency with trust, and deception with hostility. If we flee, they'll assume the worst. Then what do you suggest? Vrexhall asked. A controlled introduction. One representative to meet their vessel. Show them we could have remained hidden, but chose honesty instead. After heated debate, the council reluctantly agreed. Lirathi volunteered immediately. You understand the risk? Vrexhall asked privately after the session. If they react violently, they won't. Lirathi replied with more confidence than she felt. Not if we respect their intelligence. Aboard the Prometheus, tension had reached its peak as they approached the coordinates of the alien station. Visual contact in 60 seconds, reported Navigator Lyra. Captain Alara stood at the center of the bridge. All personnel to first contact stations, remember your training. Captain, Chief Communications Officer Dario Espina interrupted. We're receiving a transmission. It's in English. The bridge fell silent as a voice filled the speakers. Vessel Prometheus, this is Diplomatic Envoy Lirathi of the Galactic Council. We wish to establish peaceful communication. Alara exchanged glances with her officers before responding. This is Captain Alara Voss of Earth. We acknowledge your transmission. Captain Voss, I request permission to board your vessel for diplomatic dialogue. I will arrive alone and unarmed. After brief consultation with Earth Command, Alara granted permission. The crew watched in awe as a small craft detached from the now visible station and approached. In the docking bay, Alara and a security team waited as the airlock cycled. When it opened, Lirathi stepped through, humanoid but clearly alien with opalescent skin and eyes that seemed to change color with each blink. Captain Voss, Lirathi inclined her head. I apologize for the secrecy. The Council believed it best to observe your species before making contact. And now? Alara asked. Now you've forced our hand by discovering us. Lirathi's expression was unreadable. But perhaps it's for the best. There are matters we need to discuss. Urgently. In the private conference room, Lirathi revealed the truth, or at least the version of truth the Council had authorized. 27 spacefaring civilizations form the Galactic Council. We've maintained peace for millennia. Earth has been classified as a developing world, protected from interference. Protected or contained? Alara challenged. Lirathi hesitated. Both. Your species develops technology faster than your ethics evolve to manage it. This creates concerns. So you've been watching us, judging us, studying you, Lirathi corrected. Humans are unique. Your cognitive patterns, your innovation, rate, unprecedented in galactic history. What Lirathi didn't reveal was the Council's debate on humanity's fate, or the contingency plans already in motion should this meeting go poorly. Back at the Sentinel station, Fleet Admiral Zovak watched the exchange through Lirathi's hidden feed. Activate the contingency fleet, he ordered quietly. If the humans react unpredictably, we must be prepared. 16 warships slipped from hyperspace, maintaining position just beyond the Prometheus's sensor range. The Prometheus's analysis lab hummed with activity as Dr. Mira Corvin examined the biological data from their alien visitor. Fascinating, she murmured. Lirathi's DNA, if we can even call it that, shows evidence of genetic engineering, extensive modifications for space travel, radiation resistance, enhanced cognitive processing. Lieutenant Commander Rigel looked up from his console. You think they engineered themselves? Not just themselves, Mira replied. Look at these comparative scans. The biological signatures from the station show distinct evolutionary patterns. These species didn't evolve on the same planets. So they're a coalition, Rigel concluded. Like a galactic United Nations. More than that, their biology suggests they've been spacefaring for thousands, maybe tens of thousands of years. In the conference room, the diplomatic discussion had taken a concerning turn. You need to understand, Lirathi explained. The Council operates on consensus. Many members are uncomfortable with Earth's rapid advancement. Captain Ilara's eyes narrowed. Define uncomfortable. Your species developed nuclear weapons before reliable birth control. You created artificial intelligence before resolving basic resource distribution problems. You split the atom before you eliminated hunger. We're complex, Ilara acknowledged. But we learn from our mistakes. Do you? Lirathi's tone was gentle, but probing. Earth history suggests humans repeat the same conflicts generationally. And now you're on the verge of technologies that could destabilize entire star systems. Tactical Officer Kenzo entered with a data pad. Captain, urgent report from our sensor team. Ilara scanned the information, her expression hardening. There are 16 warships positioned beyond our detection range. Care to explain that, Envoy Lirathi? Lirathi's skin paled slightly. A precaution. First contact scenarios carry inherent risks. Risks that apparently merit a battle fleet. Ilara's voice turned cold. You speak of peace while positioning weapons. The Council is divided on how to proceed with Earth, Lirathi admitted. Some advocate for immediate integration. Others prefer restrictions. Quarantine, Ilara translated. Or worse. The tension in the room was broken by an urgent call from Dr. Corvin. Captain, we've discovered something in the station's energy signature. It's transmitting a signal toward Earth. What kind of signal? Unknown, but it's bypassing all our communication channels. Going directly to somewhere on Earth. Ilara turned to Lirathi. What are you sending to our planet? Nothing. Lirathi appeared genuinely confused. That's not our transmission. Scan complete, Mira announced. The signal originated from the station but doesn't match Galactic Council protocols. It's using a different encryption standard. Realization dawned on Lirathi's face. There's another faction on the station. Someone who doesn't answer to the Council. Dr. Corvin, where exactly on Earth is that signal going? Ilara demanded. Triangulating now. Multiple locations. Beijing, Washington, D.C., Moscow, New Delhi, all high-security government facilities. Ilara fixed Lirathi with an uncompromising stare. You have exactly 1 minute to explain what's happening before I consider this an act of war. Captain, Lirathi's voice dropped to a whisper. I believe we've both been deceived. There's a faction within the Council, extremists who believe humanity must be controlled or eliminated. If they're contacting Earth governments directly, they're bypassing official first contact protocols, Ilara realized. Worse, Lirathi's expression grew grave. They're implementing protocol sundering, spreading disinformation to different Earth governments, each message designed to create mistrust and conflict among your leaders. On Earth, emergency meetings were being called in capital cities worldwide, as identical messages were received. We are not alone and we are not the first to make contact. Your rivals have been collaborating with extraterrestrial intelligence for decades. Evidence to follow. Aboard the Prometheus, Captain Ilara made a decision that would alter humanity's destiny. Lieutenant Commander Rigel, prepare to transmit everything we've learned to Earth Command. Full transparency protocol. Dr. Corvin, I need a way to disrupt that signal. And me? Lirathi asked. You're going to help us expose this conspiracy to the entire Galactic Council, live and unedited, Ilara replied, unless you'd prefer to be remembered as the envoy who witnessed the beginning of an interstellar war. Aboard the Sentinel station, Fleet Admiral Zovak received the emergency alert. What do you mean unauthorized transmissions? Who bypassed our protocols? His aide's voice trembled. The Aurelians, sir. Their representative claimed it was authorized by the Security Council. It wasn't. Zovak's face darkened. This is a coup attempt. The Aurelians have been pushing for more aggressive action against Earth for years. On the central command deck, Aurelians had taken control of the communication arrays. Their leader, strategist Morvath, worked methodically at the console. Phase 1 complete, he announced to his followers. Earth's major powers are receiving evidence of secret alien-human collaborations. Within hours, their fragile alliances will fracture. And the humans aboard the Prometheus? One of his subordinates asked. A regrettable but necessary sacrifice, Morvath replied. When their governments turn against each other, the Prometheus will be caught in the crossfire of human paranoia. What Morvath didn't know was that his transmission had been detected not just by the Prometheus, but by the Council's own security forces. In the Council chambers, High Commander Vrexhall faced an unprecedented crisis. The Aurelians have violated our most sacred protocols. They've initiated unsanctioned contact with Earth, deliberately designed to provoke conflict. This is beyond a procedural violation, Ambassador Nixia declared. This is an act of war, against humanity and against the Council itself. The damage is done, Science Director Krelvok said grimly. Earth's governments are receiving the transmissions now. Not necessarily. Vrexhall activated a secure channel. Envoy Lirathi, what's your status? Aboard the Prometheus, Lirathi stood on the bridge beside Captain Ilara. Commander, we've uncovered an Aurelian plot to destabilize Earth. Captain Voss has proposed a counter-strategy. Ilara stepped forward. Your protocol prevents interference in developing worlds, but Earth has been interfered with. We propose a joint Human Council announcement to all Earth governments simultaneously, revealing the truth before the Aurelian disinformation takes root. Unprecedented, Vrexhall murmured. So is this situation, Ilara countered. My species values truth, even difficult truths. Give us that chance. After brief deliberation, the Council agreed. Within minutes, the Prometheus and the Council prepared a joint broadcast to Earth. On screens across the planet, regular programming was interrupted. Humans watched in awe as Captain Ilara Voss appeared, alongside creatures straight from science fiction. People of Earth, she began. I am Captain Ilara Voss of the ESV Prometheus. Today, humanity has confirmed we are not alone in the universe. The beings you see beside me represent the Galactic Council, a coalition of spacefaring civilizations. High Commander Vrexhall continued. We have observed Earth for centuries, following our protocol of non-interference with developing worlds. Today we break that protocol because rogue elements attempted to sow discord among your nations. Some will question if this is real, Ilara added. Your governments have received verification protocols. This transmission is being sent to every nation simultaneously, with identical information. We stand at a crossroads of history. As the broadcast continued, Dr. Mira Corvin and the Prometheus science team worked with Council technicians to neutralize the Aurelian transmissions. There, Mira announced. We've isolated their signal, initiating countermeasure now. On the Sentinel station, strategist Morvath watched in horror as his carefully constructed deception collapsed. Impossible. How did they coordinate so quickly, Wanabagur? Admiral Zovak's forces surrounded the Aurelian conspirators. By remembering what you forgot, Morvath, that underestimating humans has always been your faction's fatal flaw. Back on Earth, the initial shock was giving way to a strange new reality. For the first time in human history, all nations faced the same revelation simultaneously. Ancient questions were answered, new ones formed, but one thing was clear. Humanity was united in its response to the stars. In orbit around Earth, military satellites that had been pointed at other nations slowly reoriented, upward, toward the vastness of space. 3 weeks after first contact, the United Earth Council convened in Geneva. Representatives from every nation gathered in unprecedented cooperation. The revelation of intelligent alien life had achieved what centuries of diplomacy could not, a singular human perspective. The Galactic Council has extended an invitation for Earth to send delegates, announced UEC President Amara Okafor. They've offered us observer status while we consider formal membership. And if we decline? Asked Russian Federation Representative Dmitry Volkov. That remains our sovereign right, President Okafor confirmed. The Council's laws forbid interference with our development, whether we join or not. In the gallery, Captain Alara Voss and her senior crew sat alongside diplomatic envoy Larathi. The past weeks had transformed them all. Alara had become humanity's de facto ambassador, while Larathi had been officially recognized for preventing an interstellar incident. After the session, they gathered in a private chamber overlooking Lake Geneva. The Council didn't expect this, Larathi admitted. Your species was supposed to fracture under pressure, not unify. You underestimated human adaptability, Lieutenant Commander Rigel replied. Shared external challenges have always brought us together. What happens to the Aurelians? Dr. Mira Corvin asked. They'll face judgment, Larathi said. Not just for violating non-interference protocols, but for attempting to manipulate a sovereign species. The Council takes such action seriously, and the observation post beyond Pluto? Asked Tactical Officer Kenzo. Being dismantled, Larathi confirmed. As a gesture of trust, any future monitoring will be done with Earth's full knowledge and consent. Captain Ilara stared out at the snow-capped Alps. What aren't you telling us, Larathi? There's something more. Larathi hesitated. You're right. The Council's unanimous vote to offer Earth observer status. It wasn't just diplomacy. It was fear. Of what? Of what you might become without guidance. Your species developed faster than light travel independently. Do you understand how unprecedented that is? Every other Council species either discovered ancient technology or was mentored by older civilizations. You did it alone. We stand on the shoulders of giants, Ilara said. Thousands of scientists across generations. Exactly, Larathi nodded. Your collaborative innovation model is unique. Most species have hierarchical knowledge systems. Humans, you iterate chaotically, building on failures as much as successes. It's messy, inefficient, and inexplicably effective. On the Galactic Council's central world, Celestrum, the member species debated humanity's future. The Aurelian conspiracy had been stopped, but their concerns weren't entirely unfounded. We've calculated their potential development curve. Science. Director Krelvox presented the projections. Given access to Council knowledge, humans could advance in decades what took us millennia. You're suggesting we restrict their access? Asked Ambassador Nixia. I'm suggesting we prepare, Krelvox replied. Their cognitive architecture makes them uniquely suited to cross-disciplinary innovation. They don't think in our linear patterns. High Commander Vrexhall considered this. Perhaps that's exactly what the Council needs, a new perspective. Our civilization has grown stagnant, risk-averse. Humans embrace the unknown. They also embrace conflict, Fleet Admiral Zovak countered. True, Vrexhall acknowledged, but they emerge stronger for it. While we've maintained peace through strict protocols, they've forged unity through overcoming their divisions. Back on Earth, the Prometheus was being prepared for its next mission, a journey to Celestrum with Earth's first official delegation. The night before departure, Captain Alara stood alone on the observation deck of the orbital platform, watching her home planet gleam below. Beautiful, isn't it? Larathi joined her. I'll never forget seeing it for the first time. How do you think this ends? Alara asked. Truthfully, the Council clearly fears our potential. With good reason, Larathi's gaze was steady. Your people accomplish in generations what others require epochs to achieve. You're impatient, impulsive, and astonishingly innovative. That doesn't answer my question. Larathi's expression softened. The Council believes they're integrating Earth into their system. What they don't realize is that you'll transform the system itself. It's already beginning. How so? Species that have been enemies for millennia are suddenly cooperating to understand humans. The Zetulians and Loxarians have established joint research initiatives. The Duraxians are revising their development models. The Council is changing because of you. On launch day, as the Prometheus prepared to depart with Earth's delegates, Captain Alara received a secure transmission from President Okafor. Captain, our analysts have completed their assessment of Council technology. As we suspected, they've advanced incrementally, perfecting existing systems rather than pursuing theoretical breakthroughs. Their FTL drives are only 15% more efficient than ours, despite millennia of refinement. And weapons? Ilara asked quietly. Comparable to ours in many respects. They've chosen stability over innovation for so long that it's become cultural. Their strategic assessment of Earth was correct. We are dangerous not because we're aggressive, but because we're unpredictable. As the Prometheus engaged its FTL drive, departing the solar system legally this time, Ilara considered humanity's position. They had been feared because they were different, evolving through conflict rather than consensus, advancing through competition rather than coordination. Yet this very nature made them valuable. Already, Earth scientists were proposing modifications to counsel technology that their creators had never considered. You know, Larathi said as they watched the stars blur into streaks. There's an ancient council proverb. The most dangerous species is the one that never stops questioning. Ilara smiled. Then the council was right to fear us, and right to welcome us. The council believes they've contained a potential threat, Larathi replied. They don't yet understand that you'll transform them more than they'll change you. As the Prometheus carried humanity's first ambassadors into the heart of galactic civilization, both Earth and the Council stood at the threshold of a new era. The species that had united against Earth now faced a greater challenge, adapting to humanity's relentless innovation, their insatiable curiosity, their chaotic creativity. The observers had become the observed. The judges had become the judged. And in the vastness of space, ancient civilizations prepared for the most disruptive force they had ever encountered, humans, with their unique gift for transforming everything they touched. Not through conquest, but through questions that had never been asked and answers that would change the galaxy forever. The end.